Hey there everybody, Dimensions in Time here. We are on day number 928 on year 3. So, I have been playing a little bit off camera in my world here. It's been a long time since I actually got into this game and played. And the way that I was going was, I had in the basement all the way down here, plans for a nuclear plant. My problem was that I think it was a little bit too far away from my base to run a line all the way down here for both RF and for EU from IC2 and from thermal expansion. So what I decided to do was move the plans up here a little bit, and here's my machine room. I've basically run out of lava now in the nether. So I built myself a small nuclear plant here that's pretty steady, and it's basically just a design that keeps it at no temperature at all and gives me 320 per tick EU. And then what I did was I built some of these power converter boxes that will convert the EU over to RF and then feed that out to the RF. So the RF is powering all the lights and all of my RF machines upstairs and here, down here. And the MFSU is now powering all the machines down here, and they're all being powered from this reactor. Now the plan is, I wanted to go even larger than this because I want everything to run off of the reactor, and there are some things that are still running off of their own little power elsewhere in the base here. So hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for the arrows. So what I've done is the little system that I had that was making distilled water. What? Oh, you dog. Oh, rats. Well, I hope I don't die here. Let's see. I can't believe there's a witch down there. Oh! That was close. I did not know that I needed to eat, so. I love Minecraft. I love witches. Witches. So the reason that happened is because, look at this. I've got my, digging out over here. Well, that's going to get broken, so let's do that. And maybe over here. And maybe over here. And maybe over here. And maybe out here. Wow, so I cut through my base. I set this up so that I could expand that room, and I didn't realize I was so close to the edge. So what I've started to do is I've started to build out a nuclear reactor down here. And it's going to be a liquid-cooled nuclear reactor with IC2 coolant being fed in, and then the hot coolant being fed out. And basically on either side of these machines here, I've got fluid ports for in and out. So I'll be feeding the hot liquid in on one side and pulling it out on the other. And then the liquid is going to be stored in tanks on either side of these machines, on either side of this little setup here. And this is going to be a cooling tower, just like in a real nuclear reactor. So the hot coolant is going to come from the one side. Actually, I think the hot coolant goes over here. I think I made a mistake there. Hot coolant comes in here, comes into these liquid heat exchangers, which will take the heat, the hot liquid, and move it across the heat conductors and collect the heat and make it cool. The heat conductors will then hit these steam generators, which will generate steam, and that's what we're using the distilled water for. Why distilled water? Well, you probably remember last episode, calcification. And calcification will affect these steam generators that have these little steam turbines in them. The turbines actually turn, and on one side of the machine over here, it's got a little turbine, a little wheel that turns. On the other side of this machine, it's got a wheel that turns, and it generates power from that. So these two machines will generate power, and the two up here will also generate power. And the turbines will take the hot liquid from the reactor, and since it's so hot, it will actually create superheated steam, which will be collected in this steam generator and turn this. And then regular heated steam will turn this one to get power from these two. And we've got two systems here, so it's just basically the same thing duplicated on top of each other. The water will then come into this condenser, which will turn it back into the distilled water. And the distilled water will be fed back into the drum. So basically the drum's going to be here, and it's going to feed the distilled water in here, make steam, come back, and then into this again. The liquid coolant is going to be hot, coming across all the machines, and then back over here to cool. And then it'll be fed back down to the reactor again, where it gets heated up. So that is how the system works. It's a closed system, which means that once I get enough distilled water and coolant to keep the reactor down there cool enough, it'll just keep looping back and forth. And it won't. The only thing that'll deteriorate within the reactor will be the components inside. So if you go up and look at our reactor over here, you can see that the fuel rods do deteriorate. Within this system here, this is a pretty clever system. I can't remember. I found this online somewhere, but within this system here, basically, we don't have any breakdown across all these components. They stay pretty much at peak capacity, but these fuel rods are being spent. And what'll happen is they'll just empty, basically, at some point, and you've got to pull them out and replace them. We're going to automate that system. I did not do that here, but we are going to automate that for the basement, for the reactor down there. And what we'll do is we'll have, I already have it set up over here, a fluid solid canning machine set up that will constantly keep fuel rods in here. We'll have another system set up that actually makes the fuel rods. I've got that machine over here. Thermal centrifuge. That'll actually keep making fuel for the rods. And then we'll create rods. We'll turn them into quads automatically upstairs with the... what is that machine called? Let me see if I even have room over here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So in the ME system, the molecular assembler will actually be creating the fuel rods. And you can see I've already got it set up to do some pattern so I can make some things up here. We'll be making fuel rods on this one, and that will keep the system... Oh, I better eat something in case I get attacked again down there. That'll keep the system pretty much going without me having to touch it. And that is the goal. I want power without maintenance. Automation, baby. That's what we're looking for. So that's where I am right now. And that's basically it. That's all I wanted to show in this video. I know that I'm pretty sporadic as far as how I do videos. Basically, my work keeps me pretty busy, so I don't have a lot of time to record, but I am going to try to start doing more recordings and make them smaller. So I hope that I can get a little bit more regular on how I put out these videos. So if you like this video, please click the like button down below, and I urge you to subscribe. If you like my videos, please subscribe. That'll give you a notification of when a new video is uploaded, and you'll be able to see it right away. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back with more updates on nuclear power coming up.